Raise your horns high and let your spirit flow. It's the classic metal wrap-up show. Feel the rush, let the loudness grow. It's the classic metal wrap-up show.
25, you're not,
Yeah.
So, and hey, I'm not knocking if that's, again, I guess maybe in their mind, here's how evil lives, ladies and gentlemen. If I'm going to have a life extension, I want it right now. I want these years to be extended. I don't want to extend on the back end when I'm pissing myself and I can't walk. And who wants to like sit around for 3 or 5 more years of that? Like, I don't. So to me, it's like if they can say, hey, we're extending our life for quality years that are going to be well lived, cool. Most of the time, they're just extending their life to be like Dayton, who's probably in his house 90% of the time with his feet up watching TV. I mean, getting fed by a fucking nurse or a helper once a day, and you're lucky if you can make a bowel movement. You call someone because I took a shit.
Took a shit.
It's like why would you extend that period of your life? Why is that what you're asking? That's the way I see it. Now I know they don't see it that way, but that's how I see it. And so, to me, it feels like they're sacrificing themselves and their happiness now in hopes of getting 5 more years on the other end. But those 5 years are usually going to be spent in a convalescent home and hospice or hospital or very minimum trapped in your own house because you're just too old to find your way out very well or afraid to do so. And so I'd rather just go ahead and eat the cheeseburger now and just live now and then just go face down on my mashed potatoes at 68 and be done with. And it's just over.
Right.
I don't have to worry about fucking 98-year-old Dayton. I think I shit myself. Help. I don't want to be that guy. So
Right.
I'd rather just have the big guy heart attack like I probably will at some point in time, and it's just lights out. I'm hoping I have a pretty good track record. Most of my relatives, the men, seem to just kind of go to sleep and not wake up. So that's what I'm looking for. Yeah. The easy way out. It's easier.
Right. All right.
Hey, Grandpa didn't wake up. So we have a couple other music topics we should bring up here. Do you let's get back to this Poison Ricky Rocket thing, because now Bret Michaels is saying that Ricky Rocket's a liar. He never asked for that money.
Yeah. What do you think? I mean, I think, don't you think Bret comes off as like a phony, everyday, likable guy? He's got a mean streak in him, right?
You can almost hear it with the way how fake he is in the interviews. It's like, okay, I'm just gonna say it this way. I don't have, as I've mentioned on the show before, I think Ricky Rocket's a pretty pretentious Southern California liberal commie type person, socialism type person.
Yeah.
And that's okay if that's the way, again, that's a fad. It's a trend. I'm telling you people this is how they think this is a cool way to be hip. You can't be in their social circles and their little whatever clubs, at the racquetball club, the fucking party on Friday night. We're bringing the wives for the pool party and the kids. That you can't be in the club unless you're a liberal, socialist, commie type of person. That's okay if that's what you want to be. I'm not. I'm just saying that's what's down there. I never see Republican elephant guy party. I don't see that. They all gravitate to this hive mindset, and that's what draws me away from him. When I watch his videos, it just seeps from his pores. Everything is about all this, justice and whatever in his mind, making the rights the wrong and all that kind of stuff. Great, Ricky, you're out there doing that. What I would say is, as much as I don't like him, I don't think that he's full of shit. I don't think he just drew out he wants $6 for every dollar we get out of the blue. Like, why would he pick that? He didn't pick 8 or 10 or 15 or 20. He picked 6. That's what Bret asked for. Let's be straight. Bret looked at the band's pot per show and said, I want 60%, and you guys can divvy up the other 40%, and fuck you. That's exactly what Bret Michaels said. And for him to come out and act like that was never even discussed, bullshit, Bret. Bullshit. No one is going to suggest you go on, do a show or a tour, and you don't know what you're going to get paid.
Right.
That doesn't exist in any world, Bret Michaels. That just shows you're a liar. You're a liar, because the first thing that your agent's going to call you or your manager and say, we got a show or a run of shows, the first thing Bret's going to say is what, ladies and gentlemen? How much am I getting paid for these
Yeah.
shows per show? That's just the first fucking question, dude. So to act like that never even got talked about. We were discussing dates and venues and tours, but we never discussed the money. There would
Mhm.
be no point in discussing
Right.
a date or a venue or a tour, Brett, unless you agreed to the fucking dollar per show, man. Bullshit. He's just a liar, dude. And it proves what
Yeah.
Aiken says, which is
Yeah.
that he is completely 100% fake. He's fake to his fans. He's fake to
Mhm.
everyone. He's fake. Pete Evick, you're a lying sack of shit.
Yeah.
I mean,
I was going to
you and
bring up
Aiken,
Frumpy
yeah,
DeVille.
yeah.
Yeah.
and and the fact that Evick and Aiken were on the show together, but somehow avoided the actual conversation that Brett was a grade A dick, and Pete,
Yeah.
his only excuse was, well, everyone can have a bad day.
Sure.
Then how come so many people are having bad days with Brett Michaels, bro? That should have been the follow-up
Yeah.
question, Mr. Aiken. Again, Mr. Aiken always acts like he has the biggest brass balls to ask the questions that no, he don't, bro. You've had opportunities to ask those questions, and you fucking roundly brown-nosed people and avoided them.
Mhm.
So I would have followed right up and said, no, I know multiple
Yeah.
people who've had multiple days with your boss where it wasn't going the way you're claiming. And
Right.
it's okay, Pete, because that's how you get your paycheck. But I
Right.
don't. And I'm going to speak my truth. And my truth is that your boss has been a fucking asshat
Yeah.
on multiple occasions, you know?
Right.
And he just doesn't want to do that because he doesn't want to burn a bridge with Pete or whatever. And I get
What
that.
bridge,
but
though?
To me,
I mean,
that's
not
not,
like.
that's not, I was like, you're losing contact with a tech for poison.
I mean, yeah, I mean, think about that. That's like us, like going, yeah, well, we don't want to ask Johnny Monaco any of the hard questions because
Yeah.
we don't want to burn that bridge. It's like, what?
We don't
fucking
want to
bridge?
burn a bridge. We don't want to burn a bridge with Dan Crenshaw when we
Yeah.
ask him the tough questions. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
no, we would
Right.
just go for it and just see what happens. I mean, so I mean, even I personally have, and I don't never intended to set it off for you, and I don't think I did, but even I have a couple of times asked questions straight out that like our buddy that was in Skinner that played bass.
Oh, but I know who you're talking. Oh shit, I can't remember.
He was super cool. Anyways, I
yeah.
did try to get him to see if he would, because you could tell he had some feelings towards some musicians he's been on tour with, but he just was so southern and polite, just said, I don't want to talk bad about anybody like that. And he just worked his way right out of it. Totally fine. But I still fired the question because I wanted to see if there was any dirt to be had. If you don't
Right.
ask the question, you got no chance to get any dirt. And Aiken had a chance with Pete to kind of go round for round and say, well, on these occasions, I've had Brett be a D and explain that. And Pete wouldn't have an explanation. He would just,
Fuck.
Brett was probably having a bad day.
How did we not remember Greg T. Walker? I was like,
Greg
the guy
Walker.
with the
There you go.
with
Yes.
the middle initial. I was like, fuck.
Yes.
And it's at
Yes.
the tip of my brain.
And Greg, and I totally fired at Greg, and he, you know, he's just too southern and polite. He's an old school dude, and he's not gonna, you know. But he probably could have said, "Well, this motherfucker was on coke, and this
Right.
motherfucker was fucked up," you know, because he had so many tours with some big bands that you probably could have. In those days, the 70s, 80s, you're probably really seeing what they're all about. But the point I'm trying to make is I still tried. I fired my shot. It didn't go anywhere, but I tried. There's times where Aiken just doesn't try. He just avoids it. And I'm like, well, hold on. You have such strong feelings when it's you and Wendell. And
Well,
then
but
as soon
think
as you get
about
over
this.
here, you
I mean,
really...
even remember when we had Niven on, Andrew threw that question to Niven, and that, I mean, he did it in a way that got a honest response, and it was like, okay, fair enough, right? I mean, yeah.
Yeah, or like when I disagreed with Niven that you know, the bands that I had been experiencing were the Poison type of bands, the girls and having a party, and then all of a sudden Guns and Axl come along, and I'm like I said, my dad looked at this album cover and was like, "Who are these heroin junkies, and what are these guys doing?" You know, I mean, they look like a whole nother level. And Niv didn't see that. They're not. Of course, they're not. But to us, buying a record from Tower, that's all we see is the picture. So we're
but they were later.
And like, as we found out later, that Slash and Izzy were probably pretty smacked out in those photos. I mean, that's why they look like like they're fucking barely like someone propped them up from the night before his party and just got him in the photo just in time. But the point is, and Niv took it well. He was like, well, okay. Once he saw my point from the other point of view, not being the manager, being the kid who's 13 going to try to buy the album, it's a whole different experience. But my point is, I just felt like this whole thing with Brett, he is full of shit. That is what he asked for. There's no way that fucking Ricky just drew that number out of the fucking thin air. There's no way Ricky would threaten the whole band of Poison and the whole balance of it if this wasn't a fucking contentious issue between him and Cece and Bobby and Brett. And now for Brett to go, oh, well, we're going to make it 40 plus one and we're going to schedule that. That's what you said last year and the year before, dude.
Right.
So you keep saying this and you keep pushing it off and then going and giving us Brett Michaels band, which people like me are not going to go to. So,
And what do you think of that? Because again, it, I've never seen it, but you can sample stuff online, and there's stuff that has been, I think, pro shot stuff, that is out there, fan shot stuff with a decent angle and sound. I mean, to me, it I don't know, it just doesn't have the same energy to it, right? I mean, and it's not like Ricky Rocket's a killer drummer, and it's not like Bobby's a fucking great bass player. In CC, I mean, yeah, he just noodles a lot, but it just doesn't work with the solo band to me.
it's the same thing that these bands that have classic chemistry, they
Hmm.
cannot recreate that chemistry without the sum of those parts. It's just not going to work. I mean, Pete Evick is never going to be CC, and no matter
Yeah.
how simple Bobby is, those other people playing bass are not Bobby Doll. And there is a weird I don't want to give Ricky Rocket too much credit here, but there is a weird shuffle in the way he works the hi-hat and does
Yeah.
these things that
Yeah,
other
yeah, yeah.
drummers don't quite play it. That they play it straight through, and it doesn't have the same. I don't know what it is. He does. It's a style, and yeah, again, we are coming from a period where when we had Look What the Cat Dragged In, we looked at an album and said, here's the guys, they're etched, they're in the videos. You fucking watched on Skinny Bop, there's a clear stage of these four dudes and all these lights, and that's the guys you're expecting to see. And I'll be straight, Ricky Rocket, the Rocket Mafia versus Brett, I don't see any difference. They both sound like partial Poison to me, 1/4 of Poison. So
You
if you
know, I
said to
for
me tomorrow that they're both coming to town, I may choose Ricky Rocket just because it'd probably be a more affordable ticket price, and I'd probably hear some of the same fucking tunes and a couple of cover tunes, which I think both of these guys are going to do, which I probably don't want to hear.
yeah.
And maybe Brett would have a bigger venue and a better package, but Ricky might be more in the club or the bar for $25, and I might want to be up close and personal. I don't know.
I'm trying to remember the name of the band when they actually performed without Brett, and it was the three guys. But I would
Yeah,
take
with
that over
that
Brett solo band because again,
wasn't that
yeah,
Gibbons or something, Brandon Gibbons, or what was his
yeah. Let me
name?
see. What was
Something like
his
that. I'm just
Brandon
remembering
Gibbs, I
Brandon
think.
Gibbs. There you go.
Yeah, but I forget the name of the band, the name that they were using. Um, but
Yeah,
anyways,
it was a
that
different name.
yeah, but that sounded way better than and I think it
The
makes the
Brett's band.
difference, kind of like all the musicianship end of things, because Brett's just like Roth, he's
Well,
a
does
performer.
isn't Rocket Mafia? Isn't Brandon singing in Rocket
Yes,
Mafia?
and that's
Yeah,
why that's probably going to be a better deal. I mean,
that's
I'm
what I'm
with
thinking.
you. I mean, I think if it came down to it, and the Rocket Mafia was rolling in, and they were performing that album, I'd be like, well, I'd go check that out, but just because it's going to be probably closer to the actual band, than
Hmm.
listening to this kind of Vegasy, color by numbers, phony baloney shit with Brett.
Yes, and Brett's going to be at a larger venue where you're going to have to deal with more parking and security and filtering through to find your seat and
Right.
whatever else. And whereas I would imagine Brett and his band, or I mean Ricky and his band, could be in a club or a small theater and be a lot easier to get in and out too.
Yeah.
So
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I just, I'll be honest too. I don't know how many of the drunk 55-year-old
Yeah.
mamas I want to see at the Brett show. Whereas I feel like
Yeah.
with Ricky's show, there would be a few of those for him, but there would also be a lot of people who are just fans of Poison in general and not so much
Hmm.
slobbering over. Brett draws in women who don't know anything other than every rose has its thorn, and it's Brett Michaels.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, and I just don't need to hear any more of that nonsense.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's weird, but and
Yeah.
people
I
don't
cannot
use.
remember the name. That's gonna be like haunting me for the rest of the.
I know that Aiken and Wendell have bashed CC DeVille from fucking
Oh yeah.
beginning to end, but he has a unique sound that makes Poison Poison, ladies and gentlemen. Because when they had Kotzen, no matter how, and I thought that album was pretty goddamn
that's
good. When they had,
that's a good record.
when they had Blues Saraceno, they had a couple of tunes I didn't mind, but it still did not sound like Poison because it was missing CC. CC does have a tone and a sound and the way he plays. Only CC plays like that. I've never heard anyone. There's no guitar player I go, is that CC DeVille? No, it's Frank. What? No. As soon as CC picks up the guitar and goes, you know it's CC DeVille, dude. I mean, it's the way he plays, and so. I don't care what they're saying. Like, this is why Slash made a good point years ago when he tried out for Poison. He said he had a great tryout and all this and that, and he was kind of listening to what they were trying to get him to do. But as soon as he left and saw CC walk in, he knew he didn't get the gig, and CC was going to get the gig because CC just fits what they're doing. It's just the way it works, man. And people, he can't play. Like, I don't care what he can or can't play outside of Poison as long as he can go, you know, and all the things that we need him to do in Poison. So. People knock him, but I'm just telling you, that's part of why when Poison gets on stage, it sounds like Poison, because they do have unique musicians at the instruments, and no matter how much Brett wants to just run some other guy in there to play, it doesn't sound like fucking CC DeVille.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think it's a shit show, but what I just don't see the idea that Brett is now going to bring it back around in 2027, work out the things, not ask for $6 for every $1 of theirs and all this nonsense. I just don't buy. I think this is all horse shit. I think that Brett dangles this around every year or two, so that way people will pay attention to him for his next Bret Michaels Band tour, which is probably what Ricky's getting tired of fucking dealing with, using the Poison name to advertise your shit. Because quite frankly, if you just said it was Bret Michaels Band going on tour, no one's paying attention, bro. You got to drag the Poison name into it in order to get a few more clicks and to get someone to look around. And so I'm with Ricky. Just get your Brandon guy and Bobby and Cece and say, we're out. You want to go be Bret Michaels Band? We'll divide the crowd 50-50 and we'll go out. And I'm such a dick. I'd be all, what are his tour dates? We're going out those exact same tour dates. Yeah. Matter of fact, he'll be in LA. We'll be in San Diego. He'll be in San Diego. We'll be in LA, and just do it like that, you know, and see if he really. I guarantee you that would probably make Brett go, "Oh, why are you trying to tread on my fucking band, man?" Yeah. So Big John would be calling, or whoever his current handler would be calling and going, "Brett has a problem with what you're doing."
Maybe he'll get Wendell to, you know, because he's such a tough guy.
Hey. By all accounts, they have a tough guy in Poison. His name is Bobby Dahl, and he made it very clear at one point in time he was going to fucking knock Brett out. And I absolutely think that Bobby Dahl would put his cigarette down and beat the fucking shit out of Bret Michaels if it came right down to it. Yeah. He didn't do it, and that's why they're still probably dealing with all this nonsense. But kudos to a guy who actually said at one point in time he had just been fed up with the front man's fucking nonsense. It was about ready to put the bass down and just fucking block this fucking guy. And if he had done that 20 years ago, they might have righted the ship by now, and Brett might have seen the light, or just left the project altogether and never came back. But instead, they're kind of always halfway in, halfway out because of him. And it's not the other three. The other three would sign up tomorrow for an outdoor tour of the sheds for a summer run of 30 or 40 shows. They'd all be on board.
Aren't you though glad that Bret Michaels is stopped re-recording version after different version of Every Rose Has Its Thorn? Like he would do a solo record and go, oh, this one's with Dolly Parton, or this one's with Miley Cyrus. You know what I mean? It's just like, come on, fuck off. I mean, he's ruined that song.
Oh yeah. And he ruins a lot of things. And you know, again, another opportunity that Aiken probably could have had, but he didn't want to rock the boat, is I would have gone to Pete Evick, and when he came down if he comes on our show, I'll do this. We're going to wait till he comes on, and then we're going to intro the show with, you know you want it. You know you want it. And I'm going to go, hey, Pete, are you guys opening the show with this song? Oh, you're not? You're not? Oh. So you're admitting that there's like really no Bret Michaels solo band songs, because this is the shit he was shoveling us for his solo material, right? Wouldn't you go out there and hit the stage and play that? Sure. No.
Well, and that's the thing.
You are going to go on stage though and steal Ricky's drumsticks and Cece's guitar picks and go play Poison tunes for a paycheck.
Sure.
Gotcha.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
I'm
if
just
he
saying there
really
is no
believed,
solo career. My point is there is no
no,
solo career. There is no songs in Bret Michaels' catalog, solo catalog that
no.
makes you go, "That's the tune I've been waiting to hear all night."
Right, which is funny because if you think of, let's say Vince, if he did a solo show, if he decided to do Sister of Pain or You're Invited, but your friend, I mean, you could name those. You could go, oh yeah, he's doing that. That's off the solo record. But you can't do that with Brett.
Bret doesn't even have a solo record that you would go,
No,
the song we know is a song we all hate because it sounds like a rap tune.
right,
Because Aiken and them were playing it so much on the stupid CMS. Well, even then, I would never pick that up. They just kept playing it so much. I was, oh god damn,
right.
fucking Bret,
Yeah,
Bret
it's
trying to
fucking
rap.
awful.
That's fucking
Yeah,
horrible. No, and like Vince launched a solo career when he left Crew. He went out there, got on some tours, opened for some other bands, put out some music videos we all saw. You may not like You're Invited, but your friend can't come, but you can't say you don't know the tune. And if Vince fired it up tomorrow night at a show, the people in the crowd would generally know what this song is and what he's playing. Bret could fire up a solo song tomorrow with Pete, and I'm going to go, who? What song? Who wrote it? When did this come out? I would not know it. I would wonder. I'd have to
right.
be searching on my phone. Is this a Bret Michaels solo song? What is happening here? Which goes back to what I'm saying. So his set list must be what, 75% Poison?
Oh,
80%
probably
Poison? I mean,
90,
that's
95
my
maybe.
point.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
nothing. There's
He's
nothing other
yeah,
than cover tunes. He might play a
sure.
couple of good time cover tunes.
Yeah,
He has no solo material. That's why it's funny to me that Pete's always like, "No, the Bret Michaels solo band is so." I'm like, no, "There's really
no,
nothing. What is there? What is your
yeah,
single that you guys released that everyone knows you for?" No
sure.
one.
Nobody, nobody, Frumpy DeVille.
So at least when Vince went out solo, uh, they did play You're Invited, but and I think they did probably play Sister, or there was a second or third track there because I've heard Steven say how they had to actually
Yeah.
go to a rehearsal and learn the song off the album because they didn't
Hmm.
actually they only did 2 or 3 songs in the whole
Yeah.
tour, but they actually played something from his album. I mean, just saying that happened. Don't know that that's ever. I don't.
No.
I'm gonna have to look it up. I'll get on YouTube later and see if You Want It is ever been
Yeah,
performed.
yeah,
by Pete
right,
and
right.
Bret live. I don't know if it has.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No.
Yeah,
So
that's bullshit.
yeah, and so in the end, what I feel like is okay, Pete. I understand your position. You're defending your guy because that's who cuts your paycheck. No one's faulting you for that, bro. You got to make ends meet. And this guy's fucking paying your freight. I get it, but to act like Ricky's out of line for saying, "Hey, this dude's asking for the fucking moon," and that makes no fucking sense, and that's why there's no poison. There's nothing wrong with saying that. That's the truth, and I think that everyone believes it. Even Bret, when he said all that on the radio interview I listened to earlier today, he didn't even really address it. He just glossed over it and said, "Well, no, we didn't really get to the money yet. We were just discussing dates and packages and venues." And I'm like, no, they don't even. That's not a guy like
Hmm.
you, Brett, is not going to go out there and start talking about 60 dates. But I don't know what I get paid.
Right.
No, that's not happening.
Yeah.
So the first question out of anyone's mouth in Brett's camp is going to be, how much is he getting paid per show? And so clearly he said, I want 60K and they get 10. That's what he said, or
Yeah.
whatever it was. And they were like, what? So, which is ridiculous. Could I imagine him getting more than the other 3? Yes.
Hmm.
To that level? No. Again, Cece and Bobby should just look at him and be like, what are you fucking talking about, knucklehead? I mean, even to ask for double to me is a little bit insulting. It means he thinks he's worth 2 of Cece's and 2 of Bobby's and 2 of Ricky's. And that's a little insulting, but might even let that slide if that got the tour to go down. But 60% to your guys is all getting 10? No. Or 6 versus. So yeah, I think that's all horse shit, and that's the reason why you're not getting poison, ladies and gentlemen. And
Right.
I just think he drums up this conversation every 12 to 24 months to right around the time that he announces more Bret Michaels band shows instead. I think it's always like, hey, we're going to try to give you poison. Oh, I couldn't give you poison, but I got Bret Michaels band. That's what I feel like he's doing every single time. And and so I could see why Ricky would be pissed. If I was Cece and Bobby, I would be pissed. And it's why I didn't go see Kiss on their final run, because they kept kind of dangling that Peter and Ace are going to show up. No, they're not. Yes, they are. No, they may. They might in New York, just maybe. And they kept doing that. No, dude, Ace was never showing up. You were never going to pay him $25,000 to play a show. So and Ace wasn't showing up unless he got paid his cash. So, yeah, bad business. Brett, just admit the truth. You got to go out with D. Snyder and
Right. And the guy from
Travis Tritt or something. I don't know. He always has a country
no,
guy
what
in
is it?
there or
The
something.
guy from what's that fucking shit band from the 90s? Oh, forget. You know that blonde guy
There's
with
a
the
lot of shit
spiky
bands
hair?
in the 90s.
That oh fuck.
The guy
The
from Lit or
well,
whatever. I don't
close
know.
enough. Let's just say it's lit. Fuck.
Yeah. Or like, there's so many bad 90s bands you could just, and a lot of them had spiky blonde mohawks and things going on. So the Eric Ferentinos look, as we call it.
I mean, look here.
I can't think of who it is. I know you're talking about
Oh,
though.
Sugar Ray. That's what it
Sugar
is.
Ray.
Yeah. Oh,
Mark
fucking
McGrath and
yeah,
Sugar Ray.
fucking
Yeah.
awful. Ugh.
Could you
Ick.
imagine? I'm going to go see a package and it's Dee Snider, Brett Michaels, and Mark McGrath of
Yeah,
Sugar Ray.
from Sugar Ray. Fuck.
Woo.
It's like, where's the guy from Smash Mouth in this whole
Yeah.
thing? I mean, fuck.
Or you're. I know that to the fans of that band, they're not going to see this correlation, but to
Yeah.
my mind, it's the same guy.
Yeah.
You should have just got that shifty shell shock guy from the "Come Come My Lady,
Oh,
Come
God,
My Lady."
that- yeah,
it's the
that's
same.
right.
It's the same.
It's
It's,
the
to me,
same
it's the
guy.
same
You
kind
could
of
fit
music.
him.
The same.
Yeah,
thing.
you could
Yeah.
insert him in so many of those fucking shit bands. Like he could be in Sublime. Fuck.
Yeah, and you would know.
You wouldn't know because I mean, there's no
Yeah.
real vocal
No,
range to
it's just
those
rhyming.
tunes. It's just
Yep,
melody.
rhyming.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Oh,
Just some white boy rhyming over some fucking, slightly poppy reggae dance
Yeah.
music or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just, yeah.
although that's a lot better than fucking Sugar Ray and Smash Mouth. Fuck. Eek.
It's all just.
Yeah. And then
And
Lit.
that's a big thing. That's
You
yeah.
brought up Lit. Oh,
Well, 'cause I was thinking there's a blonde guy in there with a mohawk or something, or at least
Yeah.
there was. I mean, back in the day.
yeah. Ugh.
But God, I mean, that's like there's so many of them. I mean, I grew up in that era. There was all these people in my school. Blink 182.
Oh, yeah. With the
Blink
dollar
182. As soon as
store
they
Tommy
said that,
Lee. Yeah.
I know your music taste is bad if that's what you're telling me. You're going to go bump in the car on the way.
Right.
So there's just it's full of it, man. I mean, like I said, there was just so much back then. Stabbing Westwards. The
Oh, yeah.
what was the band that they Toad the Wet? Someone wanted
Oh,
me to hear
yeah.
a Toad the Wet Sprocket song
Yeah.
recently, and I was all, no, I would never listen
Toad
to
the
Toad
Wet Sprocket. Yeah.
The Wet Sprocket yourself right out of my car. I'm not listening to that.
Ick.
There's a lot of those, and they've come back.
They're
around.
classic
I am with
rock.
Aiken. Yeah, they are, because a lot of people
Yeah.
are not. People are asking my band, "Will you play
Oh,
some
no.
of these '90s tunes?" And we're like, "No, we won't.
Oh.
We don't know that. We don't want to
Yeah.
play that." Recently we had the what's that band? I want to say it starts with a C, and the singer guy's name is Ed. They were in the '90s. They had a couple of hits. Yeah. Yeah. God, what was it called? Not Circus, Collective Soul.
Oh,
Collective
Jesus.
Soul.
They're fucking
They are
awful.
they are asking us to cover a Collective Soul song, and I was
Oh,
like,
no. Ugh.
that will never be in my band's repertoire. The
Yeah.
day that my band says that song's in the repertoire might be the day I turn in my bass.
They're kind of like the Nickelback of that era because
Mhm.
remember
They have a lot of
they were
hits.
yeah, a lot of hits, but they weren't quite as big. Another
No,
shit
but-
band is that fucking Train. Ick.
Oh, yeah. Another way.
Ick.
I just don't know what they. The '90s, man. I don't know where these guys. Like the Collective Soul got a lot of push, a lot
Yeah.
of radio, a lot to this day. They get to be on festivals and stuff, and I'm always
Mhm.
surprised that they're slotting because they have those 5 or 6 songs that you've heard on the radio, but they're just not good songs. I'm sorry, it's just not
No.
fun. It's not nothing enjoyable about it for me. So
Or you get like Finger 11.
yeah, just no. The '90s to me, in the very early, I was okay with the Alice in Chains. I was from being from Northern Cal, okay with the Deftones. I understood where they were. Even Korn, when I saw Korn, I was kind of like, okay, this is not my
Right.
thing, but I can see how this is a thing, and we'll create a kind of a subgenre of bands trying to do this style of stuff. But about '93 or '94 on, it just got just
Mm-hmm.
bad, just to the point where I was like, just checked out, dude. Like, a couple of things would cross my radar. Usually they were the older bands trying to reinvent themselves, and I might want to check that out. But there was just so much music during that period that I didn't. I remember this. I got Green Day's Dookie on cassette because it came in the
Mm.
Columbia House
Hmm.
thing, you know. I put that in my car, and I remember going, "This is the end. This is the end of
Oh
rock
yeah.
music right here. This
Right.
is the fucking drizzling shits. Everyone's gonna jump for these guys." It was when Dookie was the big thing, and I was like, "This
Yeah.
is gonna be it, dude." And this is not good. These guys are not good.
Well,
This is not.
and and back then you would have never guessed that this guy is a switch hitter.
Yep. And it's like, I just, but that's what the record industry went. Yeah, we're gonna take things like this and Offspring and just shove them down your throat, just song by song. We're gonna make you listen to these guys, and
Yeah, that was pretty shitty because they did force all that fucking commercial fake punk,
mhm,
like that, like Rancid,
mhm.
Offspring, like you said. What's another one?
They're all from the Bay Area too. I don't know why
Yeah,
they all went
yeah,
to Oakland and said, "Let me get every fake punk band
yeah,
out of this fucking scene and do it."
yeah.
And what's really interesting to me is, and this is be most of the people out there won't agree, but for me, the best bands of that era that were going to do that kind of type of thing did not quite reach the same levels as those ones. I thought the best band of punk music in the 90s in Northern California was AFI.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's truly. I mean, if you went to go see them live, they put on the best show. It was the most punk rock in those days. They were very misfitsy almost.
Hmm.
I mean, slamming, people packed, little places, just a line of people down the fucking block, and they
Hmm.
were getting no radio airplay. They were on Nitro, which was some indie punk label, but they were selling out everywhere they went. And I went, fuck, dude, these guys might actually fucking, and they just never could get across the same crest that because they just didn't have the same, I'll be honest, the same general fucking moron fucking, three chord stupid shit that Green Day could do. That's really what it boiled down to. And Green Day had this little image thing going for
Hmm.
them. So to me, and I'm not saying you have to like that kind. I'm just saying if you wanted to know what NorCal punk was in the mid to
Hmm.
late 90s, that's one of the bands that really should have, I thought, talent wise, gone to absolutely the next level and should be out there playing some larger venues. But they're probably still just a theater band for the most part. I think so. Um,
Yeah.
Instead, we got Offspring, which was
Oh
like,
yeah. Offspring. Eek.
go see Offspring in 1995, go see an
And
AFI show
and
in
Blink
1995,
182.
and you tell me which band you think is better. And I guarantee you'd walk out of the venue, go, AFI had the fucking place on
Yeah.
fire. If the kids were going crazy, I don't know. These Offspring guys, I don't know. So, but the record companies, they want safe, normal,
Hmm.
sane pigeon. AFI
Right.
changes their look and their sound a little bit every single album. I think that
Mm.
makes them less attractive to Offspring people who just make
Hmm.
it sound like pop punk radio shit every fucking
Right.
three and a half minutes in and out, type of stuff, which that Dexter Holland guy is really good at. So
Oh yeah. Yeah.
so
Oh
yeah,
man.
that's NorCal. I would say there's other, but around about 94, 95, I really started checking out, ladies and gentlemen. I was like, this is just not good. The bands are getting worse and worse. They're
Hmm.
just retreading the same kind of stuff over and over. And, like I said, that was, somewhere around there is like when Godsmack popped up. And I went, why would I want to hear a fake Alice in Chains? It took like 5 albums of them for them to kind of make a sound that I thought, well, that sounds
Right.
like not Alice in Chains finally.
Right. But
Um,
then that was kind of like the same thing of all those fucks that emulated Rat and Motley, right? I mean, it's just
yeah.
like, I mean, you look at like well, I mean, we were just talking about Poison came out in what, 86 or whatever, but then even Warrant to a degree initially kind of were like a Poison Motley knockoff.
That first filthy yeah,
Yeah,
filthy
for
rotten.
Filthy
I
Rotten
I
Stinking Rich. Yeah.
I kind of put them in that they're somewhere between Crew and Poison in the LA
Yeah.
glam scene in my head. Changed a little bit when they got further along, but at that point in time, that's
Right.
definitely where I thought how I saw them.
But then I guess, yeah, what was really despicable was the fucking the Janie Lane grunge fucking records. I mean, that was just rotten.
Yeah.
I mean, that's as rotten as Don Dokken doing grunge.
It just went
Ick.
through a period where everyone decided to just go belly up, give up everything they're known for, fucking go to Hot Topic and buy some weird shit and
Yeah.
pretend that they're something they're not. And it didn't work for any of them. I mean, they all made horrible albums in that period. I can't think of one of them I spin. There's not one I go, I'm going to go
Yeah.
back to that 1996 Rat. No. Go
Yeah.
back to, Generation Swine. No.
Oh yeah.
Maybe Tim
Oof.
James does. Tim
Yeah,
James
that
does.
yeah, he likes that shit. Fuck, that's
Yeah, yeah.
fucking
I
awful.
Yeah, but there are people, I think, especially internationally, I think the people that really do appreciate some of that power '90s pop rock crap. But I just
Mhm.
don't, That's why
Yeah.
Nickelback could probably be so huge. Imagine Canada just goes ape shit for Nickelback. I
Right.
would never,
Yeah.
I've never. I can honestly say I've never streamed a Nickelback
Mm.
song. I've never bought a ticket. I've never bought an album. I've never watched a video. There is nothing about it. I've heard Nickelback in passing at events
Right.
and things and people playing this. I have not ever
Right.
going to. No offense to Mr. Kroger and them Canadians. I just
Right.
have no, so,
Mm.
but
Yeah.
yeah, tough times, tough sledding in the '90s. That's why I said for me I'm one of those guys. My friends know we were always going to The Rock Never Stops. Let's go see
Mm.
Ted Nugent. Oh,
Mhm.
hey man, no one's going to go see Night Ranger because it's
Right.
1998 and there will be 1,000 people or less. Let's go see Night Ranger, right? Because we'll be like right there at the front row because there's nobody there. So I would go see those kinds of bands during that period because they were kind of trying to make their comeback, but they were all knocked so far down the rung they were no longer at the arena or the theater. They were, down here at the fucking county fair or whatever they were doing. So, and I'm the kind of guy, again, I always prefer to see a major star more up close and personal in a smaller venue if I can. If I have to go trudge into the arenas, I'll do it. It's just not the same show though to me. It's just not as fun. So
Yeah.
I'll take Janie Lane at the club in Roseville, California when
Oh
he
yeah.
was doing the Weekend at Bernie's, all
Yeah.
fucking drunked
What
out
was that
kind
like?
of
The
thing.
fucking wasn't there a club called the Ace of Spades or some shit?
Ace of Spades is still a major club in
Is it still there?
Sacramento.
Okay.
It's a little more legit. It's more like
Yeah.
750
Right.
or I don't know 900 people or something. No,
Okay.
this place was I can't even remember the name of it because it was one of these flyby open for a year or two, had a
No.
pool hall and a stage and
Yeah.
had some bands and then just went under. And I was surprised it was out there because in that era, all the bands, Adler's Appetite, The Fake
Oh yeah.
Rat, um, I'm going down the list of the bands I saw there, but the
Yeah.
point is, I saw War with Jamie St. James there. I
Oh
saw
okay.
this was all at the Road, a place that used to be open in Sacramento called the Road. It was literally called the Roadhouse, and so they all would go there. So when Warrant didn't go there, or when Janie was back, and they decided to not go there and go to this other bar in Roseville, California, we were all like, why would they go play there? That's not the place that the bands of that era play in Sacramento. They go to this other bar. So we went there and kind of found out why is because it was Janie and Eric and Jerry with
Oh.
Rick Steyer, I think, or is that his
Yeah,
name?
from Kingdom
on
Come.
guitar.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, and they had
Mike
James too,
Mike,
right? Yeah.
no, it had the sack. It had the Mike Fasano, the
Oh
sack
no shit.
Fasano.
Oh okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. Then they were.
I think
Then
that was
Coke.
right at the end of Steyer's
Yeah.
time. I think playing guitar.
Oh
with them.
okay.
And
Yeah.
Janie was blitzed, and he
Mm.
as soon as he came on stage, the first song, he was stumbling and barely using the mic stand to stand up, but we all could go, "Oh fuck, he's not
Yeah.
right," and it
Yeesh.
just went downhill the whole show to the point where he's like holding the microphone to the crowd on his knees because he can't stand up, letting all of us take turns singing the fucking words because he's too plastered to sing. After the show at the merch booth is where he was propped up like he was Weekend at Bernie's, and they were trying to just keep him there to get a few people to come over and buy merch in hopes of making some money because there was only 50 people, 75 people in the whole place.
Wow.
So it was I should get my friend Lou, I know you watch this once in a while, Lou Ramirez, my dear friend. He went to that show with me and saw the fucking, he went to a couple of shows like that with me, and saw the horror show. And we liked it because, again, we could go in, not be in a big crowd of people. This place was largely empty. More guys were playing pool than watching Warrant. Some people were like, why is Warrant in this bar? And it was like, yeah, I don't know.
It's like, wait a minute, I know that song.
I don't even think it had radio promotion. I think it was literally like it just popped up on a flyer in the paper and said
like a
Warrant,
a drive-by. They just played, booked it, and
And it literally was a Wednesday or a Thursday because they were
Nobody's
probably
gonna
going
be there.
they were going between Reno to San Francisco and said, let's stop in this fucking Roseville bar and make some money on a weeknight. And Janie that's probably why he was plastered, because he's in the middle of nowhere, no responsibility, probably been in the hotel all day drinking. And it was a shit show.
Yeah. God.
I knew then. I said to my friend Lou, I said, how long can a guy live like that? How long can he actually exist, if every day is like that? Because Jerry and Eric and all them, Rick, they all seem to have their shit together. They were all sober and had played well. The band actually sounded good. It was just Janie was song by song deteriorating because he kept, you could just see him between songs drinking. And I was like, this guy's, by the end of the show, he's just fucking shit-faced.
Man.
And you know how it is, Ruben. In life, there's some guys you meet that can drink alcohol and they can actually kind of function still. And then you meet a guy like that. Janie was the guy you could clearly see it just all goes. Like there's no ability to stand, to walk, to talk. He's just a shit show, dude.
Yeah.
Falling down, stumbling, fucking hanging on people. I mean, it was just weird. And at one point he jumped in the crowd, hung on my shoulder because I'm a big guy, for stability, and put the microphone there. And I'm going, heaven isn't too far away, because he couldn't do it, dude. And my friend was like, you're singing for Janie Lane. And I'm like, because he's plastered. He can't. I can smell the booze in his breath. He can't sing. So and since I was one of only 50 guys in the crowd, there was a lot of room. People, I mean, big gaps of no one there. So he just walked up to me because I was like the third guy in the room and said, hey, this guy's singing. It was weird thing. But those days, again, that was like 98, 99, 2000. I don't know, somewhere in that range. There's like a period there of the late 90s, early 2000s where I would go see all those bands in a lot of these venues. And that was the first time I ever dealt with Steven was in a place like that, the Roadhouse. That's where the Jizzy was creeping and lurking on chicks while Adler wanted to smoke my pot. And it was just cool because for me at that point, it was like all these guys have been brought down a couple of rungs because Korn right now was the top thing. And those bands were the top late 90s bands. And these bands were not able to get into those kinds of venues or those size of rooms. So they're pulling up to your local Roadhouse bar of 150 people and trying to make a few bucks. And a lot easier to walk up to Steven and be like, you're Steven Adler, Guns N' Roses. Yeah, dude, you got any weed? Yes, I have weed, Steven. But again, like I say, ladies and gentlemen, if you meet those guys, Steven seemed kind of normal that night. It was Jizzy who was creeping me out. Whatever he was on, I think he was on some meth or some coke or something. He was grinding his teeth and kind of eyeballing chicks. It just seemed like he was wired, where Steven was just like just smoking a little reefer and having a good time. So if Steven Adler looks sane, we have problems, ladies and gentlemen. Is what I'm trying to tell you.
Oh, geez.
So. I'll have to reach out to my friend Lucas. He could verify some of these stories and mention a few others I'm sure I forgot. And I wanted to always bring up because I think no one can really understand the uniqueness of going to certain shows, the Great White shows particularly, and seeing the Fur Trapper. And I know that my friend Lou, he witnessed the Fur Trapper on numerous occasions and was right there with me trying to figure out, why is this guy dressed like Daniel Boone and go to heavy metal shows all the time? I don't understand what the correlation is between coonskin caps and seeing Iron Maiden. But there was Daniel Boone at Great White, Iron Maiden, quite a few different shows. We would see the Fur Trapper hanging around.
Jeez.
And people seemed to know him. They would go up to him, hey! And I'm like, I think because how he was dressed. He looked like Daniel Boone. He had like a musket and a thing and a little water satchel and all this stuff. I don't know why he was... If you're out there, Fur Trapper, please come on our show and explain why you were dressed as a fur trapper in the 90s and early 2000s at all the rock shows in California. So, I mean, we saw him in San Francisco and Sacramento and a lot of places. And the first couple of times I thought, is there really a different guy dressed up as Daniel Boone, or is it the same guy? But it was the same guy. So I don't know.
Wow.
I started to wonder if he was related to management or an agent or had some connection with some of these bands while he's always at these shows. But
Wow.
People in Northern California might know what I'm talking about. There was
Right.
a gentleman who was always, and you could spot him because the coonskin cap kind of stood out, the big tassels on the
Yeah.
leather jacket and everything, and the moccasins. It was a weird look. So
Mm,
I've never encountered anyone since that ever has done. I mean, like if it would be like if you saw CC Banana at a show, you would go, "Why is this guy in a banana outfit? What is he
right.
doing here?" You know, it's kind of this unique look that just makes you go, "What the hell? Who's this
Yeah.
guy?" So,
Oh man.
what other rock news you got over there? Anything else to talk about? Was there anything else that's been
Um,
divulged or released?
no, I mean, I think on the next time we chit chat, we ought to just blast through our thoughts on the new Megadeth. I mean,
Yes.
um, well, I guess we should wait. I'll wait and say anything, but I think the only thing that we can say, because this is supposedly a bonus tune, is his version of, or Dave's version of Ride the Lightning, which musically is great. I mean, just vocally, it's just like eek. It's like it sounds like me trying to sing Ride the Lightning.
Yeah, I don't. Again, he's making the claim that he wants to set the record straight on
Hmm.
on his writing of these songs, and I don't. That's like the kind of thing that I even knew back then, pre-internet.
Right.
Like
Right.
I never had any ability to know that Dave was in Metallica, but when I watched Cliff 'Em All, I saw Dave, knew that Dave
Right.
was in Metallica, did my history lesson well enough to learn that, oh yeah, Dave was in Metallica, wrote a bunch of these songs.
Right.
You see his name on the credits. It wasn't like I didn't know. I don't need Dave to go
Sure.
re-record the song to reiterate in my mind that you were in the band, dude. So it's just a weird. You don't. What I'm trying to say is like you don't like if Jason Newsted co-wrote a song with
Oh
Metallica,
yeah.
you don't see Jason going, "Let me go re-record and show you my version of how Two by
Right.
Four or whatever should
Right.
sound or whatever the fuck." You know, I'm just naming a song. I don't know what he
Right.
wrote. The point is I just don't get why. What and it's even. I would even understand it more for Jason to do it because he's less of a like that might not be as known. Whereas
Right.
you're Dave Mustaine of Megadeth, bro. Do you not understand how big you are in the history of
Yeah.
metal, bro? Like you're not understanding your. Is it just that because Metallica is so huge, he's still hung up on the fact that they
Hmm.
have made hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars and he hasn't? That's what
Right.
I think it
Right.
and we all know, let's be straight, why is that? Why did Metallica go up to that level and Megadeth didn't? Why do you
Well,
think, Ruben?
because they got rid of Dave.
That could
Well,
be
they got
one
rid of
factor.
Dave, and not only that, but I think um, they brought Hammett in, and I mean, he came up with some good riffs, but really, I think the bottom line is Metallica is really James and Lars.
And let's just let me throw out there the X factor that no one takes into consideration. His name is Cliff Bernstein,
Oh yeah,
and he runs Q
management. Yeah.
Prime. And when Q Prime took on Metallica, Cliff Bernstein made it his mission to make
Hmm.
this band the fucking biggest metal band
Sure.
because he saw the potential. I don't think Megadeth ever had that. I don't think Megadeth ever
Right.
had that manager who said, "I'm gonna ride or die with fucking Lars and take this thing," or in this case, "I'm gonna ride or
With
die with Dave
Dave.
Mustaine and take this thing to the fucking top, and we're gonna conquer every fucking chart in every fucking arena and every stadium." And to this day, that's what Cliff Bernstein does in Q Prime is make sure that Metallica is absolutely treated as the ultimate metal band, American metal band of all time. And Dave just never had that. And that's really what I
Right.
think is the difference. I don't think it's because musically, there's times where I think Megadeth mops the floor with Metallica.
Oh
Lars
yeah.
cannot play with what Nick Menza
Right.
could play. Not if Nick Menza could fucking sleep and play better than Lars could in his fucking waking days. So
Hmm.
it's not a
Yeah.
music thing. It was a management thing. It was an actual who's behind it. This is why Iron Maiden has continued
Right.
while Judas Priest cannot, is because Rod Smallwood grabbed the reins and said, "Mr. Harris, I'm going to make sure that Iron Maiden becomes the biggest fucking thing that Iron Maiden could ever be." And when you have a guy who's driven behind the scenes like that, who believes in your band, is willing to stand behind you and work every single fucking day to take the calls to make sure you're getting the fucking right gig, the right interview, the right video, the right promotion, you're going to get somewhere. When you have changing of managers every 3 or 4 years, drugs and shit like Mustaine had,
Hmm.
fucked up, can't, it's just that, all that was So he shouldn't blame Lars or James. Lars or James just hooked themselves up to the proper management team. It's that let's just be straight. James is 100% more reliable than you, Dave.
Right.
That's what Cliff Bernstein saw. James is going to get on stage every fucking night, no matter how much booze has been consumed, no matter what fucking drugs, and put on a fucking show and be fucking James Metallica. Whereas Mustaine's throwing temper tantrums, whether he's got heroin or coke or speed or this or that, and he's a head case, dude. So it was not.
Mhm.
So to me, writing wise, I mean, you can go album for album. There's albums to me where it's like, oh, Metallica is stronger there, but I don't know.
Right.
If you throw me Rust in Peace, I think that
Right.
might be the best album out
Oh,
of
yeah.
any album that any of those
Right.
two bands released. So stronger material in some cases for me with Megadeth,
Mhm.
but I think the consistency in the management, the consistency in the product. That's like I was telling you earlier in the previous episode for my son. It's that I can tell my son, well, you can get so far, so good, so what, but the production's not all that stellar on the
Mhm.
album. Go get the Rust in Peace. Now we're getting a better production overall. I'm saying, whereas the Metallica albums to me, I don't know. I put on Ride the Lightning. It still
Mhm.
sounds pretty fucking badass. Even right here in 2026, you'd put it on and go, this is a fucking kick out from top to bottom. This album, you don't need to hit skip. Just put on the fucking album and listen to Metallica bang your fucking head. So I'm just saying, I think the product's just been more consistent. I think that's management. I think management has made sure. And Lars, I think, is people don't give the little Dane his credit.
Yeah.
Lars is dedicated to Metallica as much as Cliff is 24/7, 365.
Mhm.
I have a feeling that Lars Ulrich is the kind of person that you could probably call at 4:30 in the morning and go, Lars, we have an offer. And he'd pick up the phone and go, yeah, what's going on? What's going on? I'm
Yeah.
in bed, but what's happened?
Right.
He's not the kind of guy who's
Right.
not going to answer the phone because he's too busy doing blow or whatever.
Yeah.
Lars eats,
Right.
sleeps, and breathes Metallica.
Right.
And is the reason, why even with some substandard drumming at times, they have tolerated him because
Mhm.
he, business wise, vision wise, and watch any of the documentaries. He picks out the riffs. He's the one
Mhm.
going into Kirk's and James's riffs and going, hey, play that one again. What's that one? That
Right.
one's cool. Lars has an ear for that shit and structuring the song. So, they just didn't have that in Megadeth. They were always trying to be led by Mustaine, who is a far more bipolar creature. He's not stable. He's not able to be stable. It's very obvious. And I think James, day in and day out, is a far more stable individual.
Yeah.
And let's just be straight. James is an alpha dog. He's not playing second fiddle to any motherfucker in any band. I hate to break that to anyone in any metal circles. The chance that James Hetfield's going to listen to you is, unless you're Tony Iommi or Brian May or someone he really respects, James Hetfield is not listening to you. He's not going to bow to you. He's not going to, he's an alpha dog. And so there was probably too much alphaness between, if you really think about it, between Cliff, him, and Dave. That's a lot of dudes who all think that they're the fucking shit at the front line. And you could kind of see how that was probably at some point in time,
Right.
that balance was never going to last. Even Cliff, I have my questions. Could Cliff have tolerated the way that Lars and James may have wanted to take Metallica in the 90s?
Right.
I think Cliff might have been the first one saying, this is fucking horse shit. Are we doing
Right.
this really?
Yeah.
So, not saying that it's bad. I'm just saying I could see where by the time they got to I don't know the Black Album would have sounded like the Black Album with Cliff Burton. I think he would have
Oh,
told
yeah.
Bob Rock, we need to
Yeah.
make this more metal, bro. Less rock.
Yeah.
But Cliff was gone, man. That's history, and we all know
Right.
that the tragedy happened, and there's nothing you can do. So, which was sad for me because as a true Metallica fan, I don't know about you, but that was my favorite member of Metallica up to that point. Cliff was the
Yeah.
guy, dude.
Right.
Everyone, I mean, you literally would pop on a video of Metallica to wait for the head banging of the guy on the fucking side of the stage to fucking losing his mind.
Yeah.
The bell bottoms, dude. He
Right.
was like a very signature person, dude. So.
Yeah.
Jeez, but yeah, I don't know. I think that's my take. I just think their management was never consistent enough, and they, some of those albums are really great, but the production is really like I said, it didn't kind of until Rust in Peace I felt like, okay, the production, Max Norman or whoever did this got this all the way through right to where everything sounds equal, and I can hear everybody just right, and Marty and Nick stepped up,
Right.
and I think made it, which again Nick Menz is a monster, ladies and gentlemen. People don't understand the quality of drumming that guy put in behind Megadeth when he stepped on the kit. So they've had some good drummers, don't get me wrong, but I think even those other drummers would tell you playing Nick Menz's parts is a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
They gotta do some studying once in a while.
Right.
Jimmy DeGrasso would tell you he had to sit
yeah.
down and put the headphones on and go, "What was Nick doing there?"
Yeah, no shit.
Lars can't do that, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Lars is a very, Lars is a fan of a guy by the name of Randy Razorblade who helped cut his drum parts into sections to make sure they went together properly because Lars was
Right.
Nick Menz is probably the kind of guy who said, "Oh, I'll do it in one take. Just roll it back."
Right. Yeah, no shit.
He's like Gene Hoglan and these guys. I mean,
oh
they just
yeah,
go on the kit and you were just like, "What the fuck? This guy's on a whole nother level. He's playing the drums." Shit that's really hard to do. They just act like, "Oh no, I can just do it like that, real super simple."
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I think that I don't know why Dave does that. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just not as good as the original with Metallica. It couldn't be. Metallica has embedded those songs into our brain the way that they are, and if you try to touch them, you're probably going to fail. And Dave, it would just be better off just go cover a King Diamond song. Pick a random old school cover of don't do Metallica shit. We know you wrote it, bro. We know that Dave, we know, bro. That's why we come to Megadeth, because we know that you're one of the founders of this style. I mean, you are. They won't give you that kind of credit sometimes, but I will say it right here. In American metal, it's James and Lars and Dave Mustaine, right? And then you would say kind of like the Slayer guys and these guys come, but they come after them. They come a year or two after these guys. Kerry was there, but he wasn't putting Slayer together yet.
Right.
And everyone would say that 81, 82, it's Lars and James and Dave and fucking Cliff going from bar to bar in San Francisco and LA trying to play to these fucking people this new style of American metal. And so I don't know why he needs more credit than that. It's like being on the Mount Rushmore of American heavy metal, in my opinion. So I don't know what more he needs.
Right.
But he's like Donald Trump. It's never enough.
It's
never enough.
Yeah.
It'd be like Dave Mustaine probably wants a studio named after him and a bridge in LA and a mountain over here.
Yeah.
And they named the other mountain Lars though. So I don't know if I like that very much. So, I don't know. It's always baffled me, the bitterness that he holds within himself for them going on and doing what they did. But, you can say though, they did do him dirty, right? I mean, to wake him up and say, get on the bus,
get on
you're out.
It was like, when's my plane leave? No, you get a bus ticket.
Got a Greyhound ticket for you, sir. But in a way, I mean, could James and Lars even afford a fucking plane ticket back then? I don't know if that was even. They were eating ramen, dude, sleeping in fucking U-Hauls and rehearsal rooms. So I don't know if they had the dough.
Oh shit. Oh, well.
But I don't know of any other major music news. I mean, we know Tommy Lee's apparently going to have his sex assault allegations revived because of the new laws in California where they can roll it back. We know T-Bone's a fucking dirtbag, so who knows what he was doing. And even worse, if T-Bone was high on something, he probably doesn't even know what the fuck he did. Yeah. And I don't think there's been any resolution in the Radke Furlan thing. No. It just seems like there's more he said, she said.
Yeah.
And,
so. Yeah.
But and as far as the tours and stuff, I mean, Trunk said he was going to drop this thing. He didn't drop it.
And then he said it was going to be in February, so maybe next week. We'll see what it is.
I'm like very firmly in the belief that this is Journey related. And I think that
I do too. Yeah.
I think that this is Neil buying his time to figure out, is Arnell's legal situation going to keep him from coming stateside to do these dates, and Dean's kind of take over, and I have to announce that, or is Arnell going to find his way through this legal shit again and get over here to do the shows? In which case, he'll probably shut up and just let Arnell and John Kane jump on there and do it. So it sounds more like Journey. So I can think of no one else who's going to go to. I mean, what other tour? I don't even know. I don't even have rumors of anything I've even heard of that's out there that's going on. So
no.
But for us, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna review this Saturday. We'll kind of scan the CMS and see what's going on. We have some more stuff. I'm gonna break down some more Trunk audio because there was some more stuff where he was glazing himself again about some things. I was just shaking my head, going, "What is he?" So we might do a little bit of that. I can't say exactly when, but we do have an old CMS guest who people haven't heard from a long time that Andrew reached out and found and is going to come on and talk to us about his interactions with the wonderful Chris Aiken and Wendell Neely. And there is a new power duo that we've heard of that's putting together since some members of Tesla have a side project and they're kind of doing their own thing. It appears that the front man, the real Jeff Keith, might have been pairing up with the real Vicky Vincent for some jams. And this is going to be an interesting. So I've talked to Vicky. She's going to talk to the real Jeff Keith, and we're going to see if we can get them both on the air with you, Ruben, to do an interview and talk about this collaboration. Because obviously, if B-Dub and Tommy Skio are going to go jam with Chris Holmes, and Frankie Hannon's out there doing green sleeves in his barn on his acoustic guitar by himself. I mean, Jeff can't just sit around with the microphone waiting to sing with nobody, right? So we didn't see this combination coming together, but maybe some guys in Tennessee are having a jam session.
Right.
And, we're going to see what
that'll be good.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, you guys keep buckling here. I think we've given you plenty of material for today.
Yeah, no shit.
And, I think we will say the Vicky Vincent clips have been going through the roof with the cranks. We don't understand how or why you guys like to watch Vicky so much, but she gets a lot of comments, and people chiming in. So
weird.
Her and Bobby Blotzer really seem to move the needle, as Ed Trunk would say.
Right.
They seem to move the needle for us. So. Anyways, buckle up, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see what's going to happen in the next 7 to 10 days, and we'll be back with some more content for you. Until then, I think we should just let you know that I am once again, because of my allegiance to a certain faction of Dawkin, I have the Taters United shirt, and Wild Mick Brown wants you all to know that if you show up to the right bar in the desert, you might look across that bar and see a man sitting there with a cold beer and a pool stick in his hand. He's looking, he's going, just have to put your fist right in the center, so he's out there and he's keeping the spirit alive, unlike Don Dawkin, right? So take that, Wendell. All right, y'all, till next time, takers.
The night, metal in our blood, healing takes a